Hello everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and are making some really good trades as per usual. Let's dive into some analysis. Right now, we have a fantastic move up in the yen here, some sort of corrective pattern. And, actually long the yen here, we had a nice move up. That was actually a really good move up, something like 2.5%. And I managed to catch a short here at the 145.9, and I took my profits pretty quickly because we got some severe bounce back here. So kind of just sitting on my hands at this point in terms of the yen. But overall, when I take a look at the smaller counts, it looks like we've completed it. You got a 1 hour cycle break. You can see when this 1 hour cycle broke, we had capitulations starting, and on even the smaller time frames, we have an impulse down. So when we have an impulse down, that means we could have topped out here. Unless we take out this high, it could morph into something else. But right now, it looks like we're in some sort of 1, 2, right? We're going to get a 2, 3, 4, and a 5. It could double top and just, fade the highs before we get it, before it's all said and done. But we almost hit the target. We almost hit it. We're like 11 basis points off. Like, that's close enough for government work, if you want to call it that. But yeah, that's pretty damn close in my books. All right, so that's kind of it for the yen. And again, when this starts to capitulate, you can see the markets go down. You can see when the yen goes up, right, the markets get a big bid up. And actually today the markets were up, and when the yen started going down, you saw the markets kind of get pulled back a little bit before it started rallying more. But overall, it was a great day for the markets. Taking a look at the Dow Jones. So again, the Dow Jones is target. It's at 419. We're at 412 right now and kind of struggling, but we don't have a 4 hour cycle break yet. The 1 hour cycle is also intact, so it's okay. Taking a look at the SPY, we're looking for a little bit higher. We were almost there today. A little bit 1% higher, and that's your target right there. 4 hour cycle is intact, although this is a steep one, right? The SPY and the Qs have a pretty steep 4 hour cycle, and the 1 hour time frame is intact as well. So we're still looking for more upside in the Qs and in the SPY, although there is a possible more bearish pattern. You can see how I'm labeling it as an ABC with a some sort of flat pattern, which you actually got a really nice buy, and then it rallied from there. But if this turns out with no divergence and you end here, effectively what you have is an A, and you're gonna get a B and then a C, right? And that's the most destructive pattern. Obviously, it's gonna wreck both sides of the trade, people who short and long, because then people who long right now, or sorry, people who are long, people who are FOMO longing right now are going to get wrecked, and then people who are going to FOMO short at the lows are going to get wrecked, and then it's an up and down, and that's essentially what's been happening, right? People are all over the place on these trades. So I'm right now a little bit short. Got some shorts on the Qs, and I think we got pretty overbought. I think this has run like 9 days in a row now. The SPY is on a winning streak since 2004, biggest winning streak since 2004. And yeah, lots of bullish euphoria right now in the market. Let's take a look at the IWM. The IWM is still in my short area, and it could get invalidated, but for now it's okay. Usually this is where the flats end up going, and I think it should end pretty soon. So that's just my target here for the IWM. And if it morphs into something else, then we'll rechart the count. TLT is a really good trade setup I gave you guys last week. This one's playing up beautifully. Got into a short position on TLT. Now it's been falling since then. And you could have done the inverse with the yields. The yields have gotten a bounce here from where we were charting our target. And now we got a nice reversal. So this chart is showing that the yields could hit 5.5 to 6% or even higher, or a little bit higher, for a big, whipsaw move, and to go at, where then the Fed steps in, the rates go lower, the bonds go lower. But for now, we are short the bonds, and the bonds could go, down another 10 to 15%, right? So don't think that the low is in. I think that the bonds could definitely take a hit here. SMH. The SMH, very similar chart here in terms of like the cues, like that pattern that I showed you, it could be an A, B, C, but right now I think it's gonna do something like this. I think we're gonna get maybe like a gap fill. Excuse me. Maybe some sort of gap fill, like rip down, like this could tank and then pump back up again. Like we may get some bearish news, and it comes back up, and it's all over the place again, and then the end target is going to be 227, right? So we're just going to have to be patient. There's no trade set up in the SMH right now in terms of the semis, and again we've charted the semis pretty accurately. Short area, short area, short area. This was your dip buy area. It came into it and even hit the secondary area, and then had a nice bounce from there. But the semis are not something I like to trade at the moment. We'll take a look at the gold chart. So gold has been very choppy, topped out at 3,500. Could still be gearing up for another leg higher. A lot of people are shorting gold, betting on the top, but I think it's going to be a great buy. Once this B's in and this C leg completes, then we would have a big buy, in my opinion. I think 3,100 to 3,000 is going to be a solid areas to start buying gold again, and you could go back up to the 4,000 and even higher area. You're in a bull market on gold, make no mistake. The precious metals are in play now. We'll take a look at silver while we're at it. So silver was the next one anyway. Silver I still have in some sort of ABC. Still bearish on silver. I did close my short position this week on silver, so to me, I think we could get some choppiness. It looks like it wants to sell off, but buyers are definitely stepping in. Every time it dips, you see a buy or a dip buy, and then people are buying it back up. So I'm going to be patient with silver. I'm going to wait. And after that, we'll take a look at oil. So oil is in a bit of a complex correction here. It could be doing a B, right? Or the B's in, and you're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for that, we're going to have to look at the smaller time frames to see what do we have. Do we have any bullish divergence at the lows? No. What we have is capitulation. Unless it makes another low, we can't really say that we have 5 waves down. You could just make one. Well, you could force it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But for me, what I see right now is possibly 3 swings because we've erased divergence. You've had capitulation. If that's 3 swings, then you're going to get another 3 swing up. And if that's the case, the new target, I think I already charted it, but just to double check to make sure. Yeah, so it hasn't changed. I already charted this. So the target is $66 to $72 a barrel for a short, and after that, oil could start to go down to the 40s and even the 30s, the high 30s, right, the mid 30s. So we'll see what happens. Take a look at nat gas. So nat gas has been going crazy. Actually, nat gas is proving to be more bullish than I thought. It hit our buy area by a wick. We bought Boyle, which is the 2 times leverage ETF. Something like I believe like right here, like a 48, 47, and we sold it for a good 16% profit, but it kept going and it's at 40% now. So nat gas is super bullish at the moment. It's in some sort of 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 1, 2 pattern, but I just want you guys to be aware if nat gas does pull back here and ends with no divergence and loses this whole wave, what you could have is some sort of double correction, and it could go even lower, right? So we had a great buy. You want to take your profits, but it could do something like this where it just destroys, for some reason it goes back down to like the $1 range again. Maybe that's when oil starts to collapse. But again, if this goes higher and it continues to erase divergence, then it's just gonna keep doing 3 swings until you get 4s and 5s, and that's where you can confirm an impulse. But right now you're erasing divergence on almost every single time frame, which means it's 1, 2, 3, right? And until you get a 4 and a 5 with bearish divergence, you don't have an impulse off the lows. It's impulsing, but we haven't confirmed the bullish impulse. It could be a corrective impulse. We'll continue now to the stocks. So I think I added Meta this week. So right now Tesla, my short area was 310. We did not hit it. So there's some stocks that haven't hit their target yet, which leads me to believe it could be doing some crazy. It could be doing some weird stuff. You know, I think this short setup played out. The short term setup hit, right. We hit this area, and you know we're kind of in it. But I think the bigger picture is 310 for a short, and I think we're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait for it to hit. It needs to break that 200-day and then come back down below it. So maybe it's some sort of fake out and then come back down. Meta it made 5 waves down because of this bullish divergence. So you got some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5, and now you almost hit the short area, right? For this 3 swing higher, right? This 3 swing up for an ABC correction, you almost hit it. You were a couple dollars away, and you started to reverse. So it could be super bearish, or it could be you know, that it's going to take its time, grind into it, and then get rejected, right? We've seen these rejection areas work very well. You want to pay attention to them. NVIDIA hasn't hit many of mine in a couple of weeks now. It's kind of just been doing like 1 2 1 2 1 2s. I guess it's setting up for a major crash. I don't know. Maybe it's a different count, right? It could be it could be that, right? It could be maybe a bigger corrective pattern. Who knows? But for now, I have NVIDIA short at 122. AMD's been acting well, right? AMD's been, well, it's been kind of strange. AMD, let's take a look at it. Smaller time frames. Get a big impulse off the lows, retrace, bounced off the buy area. Are you erasing divergence? You are. So you're erasing divergence again on the 4-hour. You got some sort of 5 swing up here. You can make the case that it could be an ABC too, but for now, we're going to remain bullish on AMD and hope it can start to rally out of this area and find a long-term low. But I want to stress, if we finish with a big push higher, let's say to like, I don't know, like fill some gaps, maybe like 108, 109, and we finish with no divergence again, then you could just say it's another 3 swing up, and this entire move is not done, right? We got these shorts here that were timed very nicely, and if we get another short setup and it reacts nicely again, that means this downtrend is not over, and you could even take out the lows again and go lower, right? But what I see right now, what I would trade with the if you're trading semis, I would look at the SMH chart, right? And if it does something like this, right, and AMD does something like similar, right, or double correction, I don't know, it's a kind of an ugly chart here, but if it does that, then you could have the same setup essentially, right? The semis are all kind of moving together. Intel's a little bit difficult here. I say it's a 1, but I could make the case that it could be a more complex correction here. WXI, it's giving me a headache. I could even make it like some sort of A, B, C, D, E, right? And you're gonna go all the way back up to 32 before you go down lower. So there's lots of possibilities with Intel, but again, the long-term target is down here, but it's not something that interests me right now in terms of a buy. Nubis Corporation has been grinding higher. The target is 32. It's taking its time to go there. CrowdStrike, it is in the short area. Is it going to overshoot? Could be, because it's a flat. A flat could go higher. Obviously, your invalidation is crossing 456. Then it's going to be some sort of other pattern. Maybe the low is in, right? You did have capitulation here, but the fact that you took out the low here, it could be an A, B, big flat, and then a C, which rips it down even lower. So that one's not a good setup. PayPal, still rallying from the buy area. Nothing new. Robinhood. So Hood is a short at 55, 54.87, but my target was not hit, and it's kind of trading alongside Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't too hot right now. It's not too hot, but I say like it's had a tremendous rally off the lows, right? It's had a great rally off the lows. It's been acting well, but right now you're just seeing tons of selling on Bitcoin, right at 97, 98. Exactly where we're looking to short. I'm currently in a Bitcoin short at 97,500. It's dropped $1,000 so far, but it could find support easily unless you come back down and recapture all this liquidity, take it all out, come back down to 89,000. Then you could technically stay still very bullish. I see a lot of people though, being very bullish on Bitcoin, calling for a major breakout, new all-time highs coming any soon, follow the money supply, all that stuff. We don't look at the news. We don't trade the news, right? We just trade the charts. And to me, the Bitcoin chart doesn't look that great. It's kind of doing something similar to Hood, but completely different chart. Like it's in a topping area is what I mean. And then we'll take a look at MU. So MU kind of looks exactly like the SMH, to be honest. And like I said, maybe I'll just move the semis all together, right? And MU's target, we could try and chart it out here. If it's doing something more complex and it wants to correct deeper, I'll just do a quick 3 swing higher. I'm not gonna get too fancy with it. Yeah, so it's 82, 87 to 93, right? So you had upside. So you hit the buy area. Now this should be a corrective move higher. Okay, so that kind of sums up the market. We're looking for a little bit more upside if we can get it. If it doesn't, that's not too bad. We're already short and we're going to hold short. But just know we have a daily cycle breakout. The 4-hour cycle also broke out. But we're paying attention. We're being careful because if it breaks, the 4-hour cycle breaks back down towards the downside, then you gotta be careful because this could come back down in a B, right, and then go back up in a C. But it could even pull back, right, in a shallow B, and go even higher in a C, right? It could do a complex correction here. So we gotta be on our toes. It's not an easy market to trade. It's not really a buy and hold either. Seeing lots of arrogance in the market again. People calling in the lows. See, you guys are so stupid. I called the lows in. Again, we've seen this many times in Bitcoin too. Like Bitcoin, a lot of people like to be arrogant, call the lows, right? And we were just patient and trading and just watching these people say these foolish things, right? I give this example many times. Oh, the lows are in here, right? Oh, the lows are in here, and then the lows are in here, and then we break the lows. We break these lows. We broke these lows, and we keep making lower lows, and they're just guessing, just the same way that people were guessing, trying to get the low on the SPY bot. This is a very big guy that I follow that's been bearish for years. He was finally trying to catch a low, and he was calling the bottom here. We're so confident, calling the bottom. This is the bottom. We're not going any lower. We're gonna rally so hard. You have no idea how hard we're gonna rally. And then this shit came, right? And we hit our short areas, and we did not participate in this massacre, right? People were getting slaughtered into the market. We avoided this whole mess. And now we're in this mess here, and I don't know. I feel people are getting ahead of themselves again. We're hitting the 200 day, so we'll see. Anyways, have a good weekend, guys. Peace.